Hi guys, welcome to the Lenny Movie Fan Channel. My name's Tyler. Today's retro movie review is going to be for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up down below, like the video, also share it around on Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias, and if you want, hit subscribe and hit the little notification bell. That way you get alerts when I post a new video. If you guys have never seen the Fast Times at Ridgemont High, this movie has a huge cast of people that you would recognize from a ton of other movies. They went on to have awesome careers, do awesome films. Film stars Jennifer Jason Leigh, who I loved in Hateful Eight. She was just despicable and they hang her in the end, and she's great in all the things she's been in since this movie, but this movie kind of gave her her start. She's super young in this, in high school, or at least high school age, the character. It also stars Sean Penn, who I'm used to seeing as an old man. Maybe not super old, but like adult age. E.B. Cates. Oh my god. And Judd Reinhold. This is one of those movies that people love and they always tell you about, and it's on your list of movies you want to get to and you just never do. And then it came up at my local drive-in and I was like, I gotta see this movie. I'll see it on the big screen. I'll get to experience it the way a lot of other people did for the first time on the big screen. So I went and did that, and I went in not knowing anything about the story, what it was about. I kind of knew like the genre of it was a coming of age film with kids in like high school, but I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know the cast had as many people, even in like cameos, like Forrest Whitaker, like a small role that it did. I was like, oh my god, there's that person, there's this person, there's that person. And I was just talking to my friend Ken, who was telling me that Bruce Springsteen's sister is in this, and I was like, what the hell? This movie has everybody in it. You can tell me somebody who's in this movie, and I believe you. Unless it's like Timothy Chalamet or somebody that wasn't born yet. Although, I mean, out of this movie, I understand why so many people recommend this, why there's so many references to this movie in other films, and especially the coming of age films that came after it. This kind of set the precedent for how those movies unfold and set a standard. This is like the measuring stick that they all try to live up to. Now I see that when I go back and watch it. I'm like, this definitely influenced so many other films that came later on that I hold in high regard myself. I can see how this movie, and I have a lot of respect for this movie for what it did and how it influenced those. I did not know that this movie was directed by a female director, Amy Heckerling. So that's awesome, especially for the 80s. You can kind of tell. I mean, once I knew that, I noticed it after. If you think back through the film, and you understand how, I mean, yes, Phoebe Cates getting out of the pool and stuff is a little, it's like sexually charged. The women love aspect, you could tell because it feels real that it's done from a woman's perspective. I think that's awesome. And it's really fitting considering this movie stars a female, or at least the main female lead in Jennifer Jason Leigh, and it's about her coming of age. Everybody else too, but mostly. And it also made me think of Booksmart, which came out recently with Olivia Wilde, which deals with similar concepts. It took a lot from that, and Booksmart kind of got the rub from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. In certain ways, it was a little bit different, a little bit more modern, obviously, language and how they speak and predicaments they're in and cell phone usage and stuff. So a little bit different, but you could definitely see the influence. But I didn't know how many like little stars had small roles. Nicolas Cage is in it for like 10 seconds. The dude turns around and I'm like, that's Nicolas Cage. Holy shit. And a lot of them, this is like their first thing they're in, or like first big movie that made it big that these guys were in, even though they're in the background roles. But it's like, holy shit. Going back watching it now, it's like there's a star, oh, there's that guy, and they're in it like 10 seconds. But you're like, yep, there's Nicolas Cage. I thought this movie worked great. Story-wise, Jennifer Jason Leigh is a great main character to follow through the story, and her arc really played out in an awesome way. It really made me think to my experiences growing up, and all the characters did. You could relate to them. There was a relatability to it that I think a lot of the movies strive towards in the coming of age genre that this movie really nails. And it was really funny too. A lot of it, like the scenes where they're at work or they hate working or they get in a fight with a customer. I always like those because I can relate to those in my negative experiences that I've had at certain jobs or that everybody's had. But dealing with people, and it just feels very real. The conversations the characters have amongst each other, one-on-one, a group, the class dynamics at school, the teacher dynamics are a little bit over the top with like how the kids just like hate students, but it's kind of just human nature that you don't naturally like some people. So a little bit of that is played up, but a lot of it feels natural. All the interactions in this movie at least feel realistic in a certain extent, and you can relate to them. And that's what I love about it. If you guys have never seen this movie, like I said, definitely check it out. I think it's on Hulu right now. Like I said, I saw it at the drive-in, but this is a good time to catch up on a lot of different movies, and I feel like this one slips through the cracks and is a dark spot on some people's radars. So I would definitely recommend this. This movie was great, and I will see you guys in the next video.